Welcome back to my channel. Long time no see. I miss uploading frequently, but my other obligations have kept me busy. Anyway, today I would like to share some interesting facts with you about the lives of Muslim women. You may be familiar with some of these already, but either way, let's begin with our first bulletin point. Did you know that these women cannot deny their husband's intercourse? That's right. If they do so, then they can expect to be cursed by the angels until sunrise, according to this hadith. For further insight, you can also head on over to the Muslim Lounge subreddit and read about what the peaceful believers think of this decree. But I'd like to bring attention to this post that I came across in the wild. It's actually the thing that inspired me to make this video in the first place because it was made by a woman. As you can see, these are all invalid reasons for a believing woman to deny her male spouse intercourse. Now, all of these reasons are asinine, but this one right here takes the cake. Having no desire? Seriously? So you've essentially reduced yourself to a robot. To highlight how ridiculous this is, let me give you a scenario. Imagine you just ate a well-balanced dinner. You're good and satiated, but your significant other comes in the room with a cheeseburger and asks you to eat it because it would make them happy. You're not hungry. In fact, you couldn't make room even if you wanted to. You have absolutely no desire to consume this meal, but it would please someone else if you did. So you eat the burger and potentially cause yourself harm just to satisfy another. This is essentially the function of a woman in this faith. Just be an appliance. Completely ignore your wants and needs in order to appease the crusty XY chromosome wielding prostate entity that lords over you. Listen, I don't know about anyone else, but me personally, I need to be in the mood to perform the most basic tasks, even ones that I deeply enjoy, such as reading. Now look, I love to read. However, I'm a big mood reader. Sometimes I only want to read fantasy. Other times I might want romance. If I want to drown in a river of my own tears, I'll just read the Song of Achilles again for the 10th time.
He is half of my soul, as the poets say. I could recognize him by touch alone, by smell. I would know him blind, by the way his breaths came and his feet struck the earth. I would know him in death, at the end of the world.
Despite my love of literature, there are periods where I don't want to read at all and can go for weeks or even months without picking up a book. My point is that you cannot expect a person to disregard their wants, their basic human rights, and then tell them that if they don't, it's a transgression against the Lord. Yet, that is what peaceful, believing women, like the creator of this post, condone. And it's important to note that she's encouraging other women to ignore their human rights, wants, and needs, all in the name of serving a male-centered deity. I find this utterly abhorrent, but tell me what you think of this interesting fact down below in the comments. Let's move on to the next interesting fact. Did you know that believing women are trials for believing men? Yep, that's right. This hadith states that there is no greater trial for men than women, meaning women are troublesome hardships for these superior male specimens and must shrink themselves so as not to be responsible for their raging libidos. Even female youths are trials and must be covered from head to toe so as not to rouse the attraction of a believing man.
But if I marry a 100-year-old woman and you get involved with her intimately, she might die. I mean, she might have some kind of health problem. So we would say that, well, if you were to be intimate with a 14-year-old or 13-year-old who's got huge hips and huge breasts and huge body, I mean, quite frankly, we would say it's not going to have the same effect medically. I mean, no one can make the argument. But in these countries where we live in now, one is legal and one is illegal. So, in other words, you can't marry a 100-year-old woman, but you can marry that girl that's you can't be. So you're a pedophile if you go for the girl that's got the hips. And once again, pedophilia is very relative.
Another interesting fact about the lives of believing women is that they are deficient in both intelligence and religion in comparison to their male counterparts. For the former, you can see the adherence to this particular fact played out in real time right here. Simply take a look at this clip of the Taliban justifying their violence against believing women.
Why?
And as for the latter assertion, when believing women menstruate, they are considered filthy and cannot offer prayers to God. That's right, the bodily function that ensures the human race continues is offensive to Allah. So cool, right? Let's take a look at another fun fact. Were you aware that the testimony of a believing woman is worth half that of their male counterpart? What this essentially means is that if you're a woman who's ever been harmed, and by harmed I mean this word right here, then you need the testimony of another person. Yours alone isn't enough. This story about a Mexican woman who was beaten and assaulted in Qatar highlights how male testimonies are stronger than women's. This woman was violated, and yet she faces a severe punishment because the perpetrator claimed it didn't happen the way the victim described. His testimony is worth more than hers, so the Sharia courts ruled in his favor. The last fun fact I'd like to share today is a symptom of the purity culture that this faith promotes. I don't have any religious texts to show you for this one. It's backed only by my personal experience during my time in this religion and also by observations I've made. One such observation is that believing women are incredibly disposable. Males can take up to 4 wives, and in certain sects of Islam, they may even enter into a temporary marriage to satisfy their needs.
He then goes on to tell me that he is looking for a virgin, very clearly stated he is looking for his traditional virgin wife. However, he is struggling to find someone that his family, are happy with and whatnot. So he said that he has had the idea of getting a temporary wife, a single mum, to satisfy his needs in the meantime, just until he finds his virgin wife. This brother then proceeded to let me know what the terms of this marriage would be. This would not be a traditional marriage. It would be a secret marriage. His family will not know. Nobody will know about her. The way he said it, guys, I'll give him this. He was great at gaslighting.
Often the degenerate believers view women as objects to be used. So if you were married previously and it ended in divorce, you're essentially worthless because some other degenerate XY has already stuck his key into your lock and opened you up. So basically, to be a believing woman is to center men in every aspect of your being. Well, those are all the facts I have for you today. I could go on, but I like brevity. And if I shared more facts, this video would be hours long. I'm sure there are peaceful believers out there that will try to claim that this is not the real Islam. Believers are very good at mental gymnastics. They'd take home gold if it was an Olympic sport. Anyway, thanks for watching if you made it this far. Until next time.
I believe, because the Taliban call themselves, I believe, Sunni, yes? The Sunni community has a special responsibility to, in some way, intervene on behalf of their women and girls. And today, a female cat has more freedoms than a woman. A cat may go sit on her front stoop and feel the sun on her face. A squirrel has more rights than a girl because the public parks have been closed to women and girls by the Taliban. This is extraordinary. This is a suppression of the natural law. This is odd. The Taliban, since they've issued over 100 edicts in Afghanistan, stripping women and girls of their education and employment, their freedom of expression and movement, they have effectively incarcerated half their population.